Hey there again, it's Quiet/Ninja, and welcome back to another video of my through hike of the PCT. Okay, so back on the trail, day 5 on the trail. It's really windy today. I've got this little earbuds mic under my buff here, so hopefully that helps cut down on the wind noise a bit. So yeah, it's day 5 on the trail, but actually day 6 since I started. So right after I had wrapped up shooting that episode, I actually kind of tripped over a rock and tweaked my ankle a bit. It didn't seem like a big deal at the time, but the next morning when I woke up, it was pretty swollen. Kind of hurt to walk on, so I decided to take a zero in Mount Laguna. I actually rented this tiny home, which was really cool. Like, I could definitely see myself living in one of those things someday. So I used the extra time to edit the first video together and upload it. I did learn a bit from that video, though. I know it was like really rough, so I apologize. I'm still, learning this. But I found the Steadicam feature on my phone, so hopefully walking and talking should be a little less nauseating. I'm also going to try to use a mic more, especially if it's windy, to help the audio quality a bit. So yeah, today the plan is to just keep pushing north and try to put in a 20-mile day. My first 20-mile day. It's already almost 7:30 a.m. I got out a little bit late today. Spent some time reorganizing my pack, doing another shakedown. Came across this gigantic pine cone. You would not want this falling on your head. Yeah, so the view from up here is amazing. Just trees, and mountains, and fog. Okay, I can barely stand up. It's so windy, but fucking look at this view. Okay, I actually had to sort of descend down the trail a little bit because it was just too freaking windy. It was literally almost knocking me over. So yeah. Wow. Okay, the wind's a little bit better here. Man, it's pretty amazing. So my last video, I mentioned how my answer to the question of why I was doing this trail was basically kind of boiled down to because, I wanted to stop talking about it and start doing it. But here's another reason. It's pretty damn cool, right? Still cannot believe I'm out here and pretty much all alone. It's amazing. So it's about 9:40, and I just stopped for a quick snack break. Been on the trail for almost 3 hours now, and I haven't actually really taken a break. I just felt really good today. I think it was like the wind and the cold air. It actually kind of reminded me a lot of San Francisco, and it's a lot easier to go further and longer when the sun's not bearing down on you and it's a million degrees. Two paths diverged in the road, and I took the one to where I wanted to go. It's really amazing how I get to see these peaks from all these angles. I'm just basically walking along the rim here. It's basically like being in a low-level tornado. So right now, it almost seems like I'm at cloud level. And I think that's the campground ahead. Okay, looks like just 2,600 miles to go. Cool. Well, here at the campground, and it is, or the picnic area I should say, and it is practically empty. Kind of expecting more people, but I don't know, maybe I got a later start in the day. Okay, left my mic back at the picnic bench, but I just wanted to check the status of the water here. So yeah, definitely has to be filtered, but plenty of water. Took a break. It was like I said, only about an hour and a half. Trail Angel actually showed up. I was a little shy, so I didn't get their name, but they gave me some lemon pound cake, which was nice. So yeah, I just rested, had a cup of coffee, which was great with the pound cake, and then filled up on water. Super windy, but also really pretty. If you like cold and gray, it's really pretty, and I do. I gotta admit, it's a little bit spooky walking out here. I'm the only person here, but there's a water cache. Oh wow. Well, Guess this is gonna be camp for the night. Yep, sitting in camp, enjoying a cup of coffee. Got some chips. And dinner tonight will probably be spam or tuna, because that's all I have. Morning. So, it is day 6 on the trail, about 7:15 in the morning. Not using my trekking poles yet because I'm trying to get my hands to warm up. When I unpacked at camp today, like, it's like the condensation on the tent and the blowing wind. So it's pretty cold. And right now out here it's like foggy and cool. It actually reminds me of a San Francisco morning. So kind of feels like home. So the soundtrack for this trip mostly been 80s rock and power ballads. Kind of gets the blood flowing in the morning. I usually start every day with Here I Go Again by Whitesnake. I guess ask your parents. Yeah, I think that song just kind of fits the theme for this trip. I guess now that I think about it, it kind of fits the theme for my life. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. Oh, also got the Josie and the Pussycat soundtrack. I guess one of the things that's struck me on this trip so far is the feeling like I'm standing on like a peak, looking down at something, or looking up at a peak that seems like a million miles away. But you actually go to those places sometimes. So it's pretty incredible just, seeing something off in the distance that you think might take weeks to get there, and then you walk there in the same day. The micro and the macro. It's an anti-gravity bird. Well, suddenly the trail turns red and I'm on Mars. Okay, leaving that peak behind. Oh, fuck. Ow. Glad that wasn't a cactus. That hurt though. Wow, these are so vibrant, they caught my eye from like 100 yards back. Beautiful but painful. Like all my exes. Perseverance. Well, I just went up, over, and down that monster. Now should be relatively smooth sailing towards the road. Guess I jinxed myself. It's like a wind tunnel, and accidentally kicked a rock into like the back of my bad ankle, like right on the bone. So, yeah, lovely. But at least it's relatively flat, so shouldn't take too long to get to the junction. Made it to the road, but unfortunately, still no cell reception. So, looks like 4 miles. Stagecoach Trail. I managed to get here by around about 4:30. The general store closes at 5 because when I was about half a mile down the road, Professor, he's a trail angel that does water caches and stuff. He also provides lifts from here to the PCT. I think I mentioned like you could text him for a ride, but fortunately I didn't have signal most of the day, but he just happened to be dropping someone off and said he'd circle back to get me. Dropping someone back off at the trail, but when he came back and I got in the car and there was a cell phone on the floor, and asked him if it was his, and we're like, oh shit, it was the person, it's probably the guy that they just dropped off. So I jumped in, we turned around, sped back down the trail honking the horn, and yeah, we got the guy his phone back, so he was pretty grateful. I mean, I can imagine I wouldn't want to lose my phone out here either. Well, it was another windy night out on the range. Thought it was a little scratchy. I think I was breathing in a lot of dust last night, even with the buff I was wearing. So yeah, breakfast, just had some ho-hos, a bit of cold coffee. Back on the trail, Professor gave me a lift from Stagecoach. So there is supposed to be a water cache about 17 miles up the trail. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to it today, hence the extra water, plus the elevation, might knock me out. Like, yesterday was pretty tough. It was actually the last 5 miles that really kicked my ass, but I switched up the playlist, got some Katy Perry going, and that kind of gave me a boost the last couple of miles. Yep, kind of feels like proper desert now. Dinner last night was one of those camp meals in the bag that I got from the Stagecoach General Store. So I think chicken pasta alfredo, and I couldn't get the stove hot enough because of the wind, so it was like kind of lukewarm and crunchy. So I think I'm maybe a third of the way up. It's funny how like you can crawl in a tent at the end of the day, feeling like your legs are going to collapse. And then, the next morning, maybe 12 hours later, like those first few steps out of the tent, it's like my ankles feel like brittle, like they're going to snap. But then, I'll walk around and stretch for a couple of minutes and pain almost entirely goes away. So reminds me how people are kind of a nomadic species by nature. I mean, compared to 100,000 years ago, I've got a water filter, calorie-dense meals, practically living like a queen compared to that. Oh, and the shoes. Not forget the modern shoes. Those are helpful. I don't think I could do this in leather skins or whatever. So I've had time to look at some of the comments in my last video. People have been like, really supportive and stuff, which is great. Like, I know that first video was pretty rough. Hopefully as time goes by, things will improve on that front. There were some people asking about the mask, like, the one that's just kind of practical, like, helps with the dust and the wind. That's also kind of like a windshield for the mic. But, it's also, like I said, I'm on the spectrum, and, I'm one of those people that has trouble with, like, eye contact and stuff, unless, like, I'm really drunk. So, I don't know, it's just that I just feel uncomfortable, like, in front of the camera. I'm sure as time goes by, I might get a little bit better with that. So tomorrow, hopefully, the goal is to reach mile 100. This reminds me of those artificial walls in Skyrim that you jump over at the end of the dungeon. So it's about 3 o'clock. Been on the trail for 5 hours, about 10 miles in. Yeah, taking those breaks has been a game changer. In those first couple of days, I was, usually setting up my tent around 2 p.m. I feel like I'm going to try to keep going until maybe an hour before sunset. So maybe another 3.5 hours. Well, it's about 6:40, and I've set up camp. Got my own little spot here. Just boiled some water, making some lasagna. So I'm at mile about 88, 89. So tomorrow it's about a 11-mile hike to the 100-mile mark. Yep, one more day, 100 miles. Go me. Fine, so it's day 8, around 7 a.m. Had a really good night last night compared to the last couple of nights. It was just like a gentle breeze, so no big wind or anything. It's really quiet since I was at a solo campsite, and I don't think there was like another one within like half a mile, so it's nice. I even had a pretty good service, so I was able to stream the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is good. So checked in with family. So I'm about a mile away from water cache. I've got about half a liter right now, so I think I timed it pretty well. And then after that, it's a 100-mile milestone. I should get there by this afternoon. So, let's do it. So I reached the water cache. About a 10-minute walk downhill from there. But yeah, check this out. Tons of water. And these all used to be full, so there's a lot of time, effort, and money to get this here. So I will definitely leave them a tip. Just filled up on water. grabbed a couple liters for the road. I've gotten in the habit of drinking a liter at every source. I'm on a medication that dehydrates me, so I have to be careful about that. Well, that's nightmare fuel. A web tunnel. So today I've been limiting my brakes to about 5 minutes. Definitely want to try to put on the miles and get there by this afternoon. So just have to push myself a little bit. So I just walked by and I kind of did a double take. Check this out. It's like a nice little tomb. Spooky. So, crossed over this peak. Pretty sure you can see the trail. I have to go that way and descend somewhere over there. Kate? Cab? Oh, looks like the landscape is finally starting to change a bit. I've just officially walked 100 miles. Whew. Only 2,550 more to go. Oh my God. Well, I've descended the mountain, made it to the road, and yep, I just head down the road and I can get to that yoga retreat. I'm actually kind of burnt out right now from sort of hoofing it today. Well, this looks like the place. Well, I just took a shower, so I'm feeling a little bit more human again. I think I will sign off here. Thanks for joining me on the first 100 miles. Subscribe to see more. Hope to see you for the next milestone.